Team Rock versus Team Gunn. Next up on Just to Talk. So let's talk about it. And welcome to the Flicks Picks and the Nitpicks, and I am your humble host, Nov718. We got a lot to talk about. This is something that I would do. You see me touching on already, and this is the climax. Team Rock versus Team Gunn. This is a thing. People are pinning up an actor versus the head of the studio. Like, that's the narrative. We don't even know. Yeah, I know we got scoops and all that, but we don't even know. And all of this spun out of control because James Gunn started shutting down scoops. Now, why do we call it shutting down scoops when maybe it's him just stopping misinformation from being spread? And he's trying to stop it from before shit start growing out of control. Because the scoopers have created an enclave audience that will build speculations on top of speculations so far off that we don't even know if there's any truth to some of these things. Now, I'm not going to say there's scoopers that don't have accurate scoops either. Like, let's be for real and put respect on those channels. The thing is that DC is in a certain situation where, one, the heads just got there and you already got people talking about things like it's already a fact. And if it's not a fact, and he doesn't give you what you guys say, you guys are going to treat it like he lied because your scoopers told you something that didn't pan out, or even if it was something that was being discussed, because just because something was discussed doesn't mean like it's 100% going through. So him shutting down scoops could easily be seen as stopping misinformation. Who would really know but James Gunn? I'm just saying. This is why I thought it was a weird position to take. Very weird position to take. And in a way, kind of socially irresponsible. To kind of skew the people into this weird Gunn versus scoopers. Why is it Gunn versus scoopers? He just answered some people's questions and even told a scoop channel like, hey, that's wrong. As it stands right now, that is actually wrong. And I don't know if you're lying to people or someone's lying to you. But that's not true. But you know what the real issue was the fact that he said, I don't know if you're lying. And to protect your namesake, the attitude is to something's wrong with James Gunn. He's wilding. Why is he all up in our space? Isn't this what you wanted? That's the attitude people are having. But in my head, it's like, isn't this what you wanted? You wanted the studio to tell you what's going on? Well, he's letting you know it ain't that. As it stands today, that ain't happening. That hasn't even been there. And now you got people coming out here and wanting to pop their collar on him. Like, he ain't got nothing to do with these next 5 movies. That's actually a tweet out there. It seems that a user account, I don't know where this was sourced. I'm still trying to find accurately where it was, but I watched another couple YouTubers speak on this, where a person by the name of Nice and Fly puts out the next 5 or tweets out The next 5 films have nothing to do with you, James. LOL. Just talking about the next slate because those are already in the can and ready to go. These was. Alright, let me read it again. The next 5 films have nothing to do with you, James. LOL. And basically because the next few films are already in the can, already been ready to go. So this person felt the need to come at James on it. But they didn't really add him. But he pops up in there and says, I wish you told me this before I started giving notes. There it goes. And now people feeling away, what does that mean? He has to connect everything. So now they have to make notes, to make certain mentions, to bring this universe into a cohesive world. And now people don't know how to feel about this. And it's like, what else were you supposed to feel about this? He's doing what we wanted him to do from the very beginning, interconnecting these films. So all these films are going to be paused so they can have interconnectivity going from one film to the other. So they all feel like they're all part of one larger story. They all live in the same world. And you're going to have to put your fingerprints on the other films. Yeah, these might not have been your brainchilds, but we could use where you were going with these, interconnect it, and move it into the direction that we wanted to go in. And people are already up in arms, hiding behind Snyderverse fandom and pushing the fans into this new weird space of, now we just want to beef with anybody and want to use Zack Snyder's name as an excuse. And you don't need an excuse. You don't need Zack Snyder's name. Just say, now it's all about whatever you want. And if it's not what you want specifically, F everyone. They don't know what they talking about. And my question is, well, who are you? You say you're the fans, but the fans that do not like what we like. So who are the fans? The question is how many of us can represent it? And if we're looking at the box office of The Rock, this Team Rock versus James Gunn is going to go nowhere. It'll go nowhere. Rock don't have enough cachet. Sorry to say, you put Superman in the film and you had to tell people just to get people to come to the film for an end credit scene. And I don't think it's fair to assume that that end credit scene should have brought more people there anyway. But this is what you guys are saying. So look at what is going on. It's not enough of us. And if there is enough of us, you're not going to find it by starting these mini cliques within the fandom to beef against each other. So if you don't like this and they don't do this, you go at this person. It's not going to get us the result we want. This is a poor strategy. And for fandoms that really want this fandom to go a certain kind of way, you don't set it up like this. These guys are already prepping up to roast, quote unquote, James Gunn. Why? You're engaging in game mentality now, bro, over a fucking movie, homie. You want to get down with some real shit, you go out in the streets and get down for it. This keyboard thuggery is whack. Because when a guy finally claps back at you with words, the whole fandom fell apart, and he didn't even clap back. He just answered y'all, and y'all getting mad. Well, he shouldn't say anything to us. Why? Because now we're stepping on your money. When he comes out and says, "Nah, you're wrong about that," and all he's saying is you're wrong about that. He didn't say all your scoops on everything is. He just said, "Hey, that's a bad scoop." And now the attitude is very adversarial because he just said, yo, your scoop was wrong. And he's lying. Even if he was, what do you expect? I don't understand this. The attitude, that the direction that people want to start to migrate fandom into is going to dissuade anybody from wanting to engage with us as a fandom, and it's going to dissuade anybody from taking any of what we would want into consideration if you don't even know how to win gracefully. We got the Snyder Cut, and people couldn't even win with grace. The Snyder Cut coming out was one big I gotcha to anyone, and we went out there, and I get it. You wanted to put people in their place, but instead of doing it in a way that sells the fandom in with a better look to it, we wanted to spike the ball. We wanted to make a 15-minute end zone dance. And eyes in your face, and all this does is create an animus and creates an adversarial attitude, and it validates hit pieces that were totally wrong and misrepresented the fandom when it was written. That now we're starting to find ourselves in a place where we're going to end up living it out, and then whose fault will it be? You gotta look to your leaders in these spaces that don't know how to stop beating a dead horse. If you really want Zach back, what could have been done was, again, like I've said, run campaigns of real people, and the hashtag would have been "We are not bots." And you could even use like the little from Zack Snyder thing when what he said on the TV set when Zod was coming. You could have did that and made a cool little intro. We are not bots, and then showed video clips of people talking about what they love most about Zack Snyder, showing YouTube channels where they're doing dissections of his films in the DCEU. I mean, there were so many different campaigns that would have been positive and would have worked to make even James Gunn say, "Hey man, we gotta." It would have motivated him even more so. People don't understand. You ran this weird ass campaign the first time with Hamada and it didn't work. Until AT&T bought it. Then it worked with AT&T. We got the Snyder Cut. Then I forgot what happened with that. People started wanted to start beefing with the guy that released it from AT&T, because I remember there was some big stir up for, I don't even know why, and then people wanted to rally against him. Now Discovery buys it. Zaslav is firing people. Now everybody all hype, push James Gunn. Now people not sure what's gonna happen, and now James Gunn is swatting down y'all rumors about what y'all think is gonna happen, and now y'all preparing to think that you could get him, remove them. All you do is burning up time. Henry Cavill only gets older, and guess what? Eventually they're gonna have to reboot. I think you need to advertise what you want a lot better as YouTubers, because hosting videos where people are just gonna shout and complain on on screen about James Gunn, and already preemptively saying, if you do anything I don't like, I got videos ready to ride on you. What? He didn't even make a month at that point. He was just making a month, and you already preparing to ride on him? The fuck is that? I'm listening to people on the stream say this shit, and it sounds fucking insane. He didn't even drop. He didn't tell you a plan. He didn't give you a nugget of a plan. All he did was all the stuff that people are making constant videos about. He's like, nah, that's not We didn't do that yet. So before you start assuming we're doing anything and getting excited over what someone else is telling you we're going to do, and we don't do it, then you're gonna look bad at us, and we weren't even thinking about that. I don't know where you got your scoops from, or maybe someone's lying to you, but that ain't it. At least as of right now, that ain't it. And why would he have to do this? He has to preserve the integrity of the fandom, because this speculations and all these little YouTubes, that's what got people to hate Zack Snyder. That's what people forget. That's what got Zack Snyder removed. So if you want to keep running this game, all you're doing is burning up time. And then they'll only be able to give us a Kingdom Come, because all these characters are going to be old, and we would have never gotten to see a good full story arc from them, from film to film to film to film to film, because all this disarray and now the fandom's got mini fandoms, like the Snyderverse fandom isn't cohesive no more. It's comprised of YouTuber cliques. And the YouTubers don't even realize that you did this. You divided up the actual Snyder fandom now. They released the Snyder Cut people into mini cliques and squads and scoop squads. That now it ain't so much Zack Snyder no more. It's them representing that clique, crew, YouTube clique, crew, squad, nation, and gang. All of them. That's what it's become. I've listened to so many channels doing this, and it's like it's not helping any. And then when someone has a bad take and it's completely wrong, then they want to kind of throw slight jabs towards the people that said, hey, yo, you were full of ish. Now the Snyder Cut comes, and now you want to double down instead of just saying, hey, I was wrong. There's two avenues. Now, some people have said, hey, I was wrong on this. But all the hours of videos that you put out there coming at people because they didn't agree with you, or they had their scoops, it's like, and you're mad at their scoops. It's like, and then now you want to make videos coming at this person for making scoops, and then you start finding out behind the scenes that these guys were actually friends. So are you really mad at the scoops, or you're mad at your friend about something else and using this and the fandom as a veneer to get back at your peoples, to argue against them because you're really right about something else that's deep rooted between you, and you're just really using the veneer of the scoops or the Snyder or whatever it is at the moment to hash out an argument that's deeply rooted and not in the fandom in and of itself. This argument is deeper. And shout out to one scooper even saying that, hey, yo, leave me out of it. Y'all got something going on over there that's between y'all. And you're using the fandom to exercise this animus and this anger. Then when you have a Gunn come out here and say, hey, that's a bad scoop. Now, oh no, I gotta get preemptive, and now we gotta get prepared to ride on the head of the studio because a scoop was wrong. And if you're gonna argue and say, well, the scoop has to be right because we get all the scoops from here and they're usually right, well, when the head of the studio comes out and says he's wrong, you should kind of lean towards that. And even if it turns out to be a lie, so the fuck what? No one wants to spoil anything. They want to give you the information as they want to present it to you. They want to, And if they're holding back something, that's their fucking prerogative. They want to present the film and market the film their way. Scoops, channels, and being a scooper is nothing but a rogue. Rogues within the system, and they're putting out information that we weren't supposed to be privy to until it was ready to roll out. So we're all engaging in something that is very rogue anyway. And anything that's rogue, you're going to find people being wrong. You're going to find inaccuracies. I'm not surprised. I'm just not surprised. If a scoop is wrong, a scoop is wrong. Why are we making a big deal out of it? Why is this the end all be all? Why does it have to be beef? Why does it have to be, well, let's get behind Rock because The Rock got Henry Cavill, he fought for us and he said the fans, yeah, they're trying to listen to you. And now you're trying to create a Rock, Team Rock versus Team Gunn. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to work. And it's not going to end well for us. Because when the head of the studio has his own direction for what he wants, and they want all three of the Trinity back, that much we do know. And they have a Trinity already. The question is, do the actors want it? And so far, it seems like all the actors are on board. Why are we rocking the boat? You're going to make the actors not even want to be part of this fandom no more. Think about what you're doing. You're not selling yourselves well. You're making it so that DC is a place you don't want to do business with. Why would Ben Affleck want to go through this shit again? Why? Like, I wonder, do you guys listen to yourselves? You're preparing to roast the head of the studio because he told you guys that's not accurate. To boil it down to something very simple, that's not accurate. I can't believe he said it. What? That's not accurate? Like, could it possibly be? It's not accurate? like I don't understand. Like, what are you gonna do? Throw yourself off a roof behind this shit? Like, I mean, you can make a bad scoop is a bad scoop. Now, if your channel is all about scoops, yeah, I get it. So you want to protect your brand and protect the integrity of it, especially if you believe in your scoop. But what if James Gunn got in your ear, was your scoop, and said, hey, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. And it ain't, or I can tell you one thing that's not going to happen, that. And wouldn't you say, oh, I got it from a very reliable source? What's more reliable than the head of the studio? Just saying. Look, man, I ain't coming at nobody. All I'm saying is you guys are not selling this right. You're not. This is a poor marketing strategy. And if you think these type of videos are going to get the Snyderverse back, yo, you're gonna put more distance than narrowing the space between that happening and not happening. James Gunn is actually friends with Zack Snyder. I would behoove you to run different campaigns to make that relationship even something that James Gunn will not only want to do business-wise, it'd be more advantageous to do. We got to start putting more positivity around this fandom. Otherwise, you're going to make people associate Zack Snyder with the people out here saying they represent him. And if you are poor representations of Zack Snyder, then Zack Snyder is going to be, as a brand, will be stained with DC, with ever coming back to DC. And that's something that we don't want. At least I like to think we all can agree on that. And this is not me coming at people, because I don't knock the hustle. There's bread behind this for some people. So if you guys don't give a F, how like I don't give a damn if this, that I'm gonna hop in the vehicle of this fandom and I'm gonna go get me these coins. Dude like me, nigga like me, I ain't tripping on it. I ain't tripping on that. Because everybody gonna try and get their money. This is business. And the moment you start seeing people monetize their channel, they were already trying to do business. And they will let you know they trying to do business with the system. When anytime you filter what you say, you're trying to do business with the system. Because you're not doing whatever the F you want to do. You're not talking the way you want to talk all the way through and through. You're doing business. And guess what? Don't nobody want their business to be messed with. And if James Gunn is shooting down scoops, then what do you think they're gonna try and do? They don't want no one messing with their business, and they're gonna send their homeboys. People gonna come at you if you ever try to set trip on the scoop. And I'm serious. I'm telling you guys, if the end result is getting Snyder back, if you're a Snyder fandom enthusiast, tell your guys and the guys around you, knock some of that shit off. All that extra tough stuff and wilding and hate watching type of energy, kill that noise, because you're only gonna make it. You're only furthering the distance of that being a reality as opposed to narrowing the margin. That's all I got, man. It's all about how you market it, and this is poor marketing. We can market this so much better to get what we want, and it just seems like we're more interested in venting our frustrations and making it only be about vomiting up that vent, that motion, about how we feel about what you're doing with our beloved characters. But that's all I got. Leave it in the comments below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm onto something? Do you feel where I'm coming from? Do you have the same concerns that I do? Leave it in the comments below. Let me know. Am I bugging? Because I think this is just poor marketing. And as always, you already know what to do. Like, share, subscribe. See you next time. And as always, to have a better outro. Chill.